Judas Iscariot is another example. A little covetousness in his heart. He was stealing. He was the treasurer of the apostles. And Jesus never sent any accountant, any auditor to audit the account of the apostles. He was a trusted friend. And nobody believed that he could do evil. But the Bible said that he was a thief. He was dipping his hands into the coffers of the church that Jesus was pastoring. And he was taking the money little by little. Because that very day when a woman broke an alabaster box of ointment and anointed Jesus, he said, why are they wasting this oil? They should have sold these things so that we use the money to take care of the poor. And the Holy Ghost through John said, he did not say that thing because he was so interested in the poor and needy. He said that because he was the thief. He was the one who was holding the bag. If they sell the oil, all the money will be deposited in the purse that he was holding, and then he will be stealing from it. Somebody can say something outrightly, outwardly, it will be so wonderful, but the motive is wrong. In the eyes of people, they thought that Judas was so interested in the poor and needy. But the Holy Ghost read meaning into that thing that he said, and knew he was looking for money so that he will steal. So he has been stealing, and nobody knows how many times he stole from there. Remember that the ministry of Jesus lasted for about 3 years plus. So within these 3 years, we don't know how many times he stole from the purse. He must have started somewhere. Since there's no account, since there's no record book, since there is no auditor to audit the account, whatever I take, nobody will know. And he took the first day, nobody knew. He took another day, nobody knew. He took and took and took and took. But one day something got chipped. And now what happened? Because of love of money, he knew that the Jews are looking for a way of getting Jesus. Then he said, okay, this will be an opportunity of making money. I know that on many occasions, when they try to kill Jesus, he will just walk through them and go away. Nobody will touch them. Let me do them small 419. Let me sell Jesus to them. And then by the time they want to kill him, he will disappear again. And then I will eat the money. And then he went and discussed with them. Listen, it was not the chief priest. Can you see? He had reached a particular point when his sin was to be blown in the open. Are you hearing me? It was not the Jews that came to him. He was the one who went to them and said, how much will you give me? I will deliver this man to you. They did what? They rejoiced. What we are looking for from Sokoto is even in our Sokoto. And they covenanted with him and gave him 30 pieces of silver. And he gave them the sign. The man that I will kiss. It looks like they all look alike. These two, they look alike. So they may be confused that night. They may go and arrest some other person thinking that the person is Jesus. He said, I am going to identify him. The very person you see me kissing, that's the person. And then he collected his 30 pieces of silver and put it into his pocket and was rejoicing. And then at that night, he gave him that betrayal kiss. And Jesus was arrested. And they carried him and went. After a little while, Judas got a shocker. Which shocker? When he heard that Jesus has been condemned to death, meaning he did not escape again. The moment that thing happened, his eyes did what? Opened. He now saw his evil. Immediately, he put hands into his pocket and brought the 30 pieces of silver and returned to the chief priests and said to them, I have betrayed an innocent man. Take your money back. And the chief priest said, it is now too late. What have we to do with your money? Take your money and go and eat your money. And in the anguish of his soul, he came and carried the 30 pieces of silver and did what? Dumped it and said, I know chop again. I know chop the money again. I don't want this evil money again. He wanted that evil money. The code of sin, the code of covetousness. Listen, the code of covetousness led to the code of stealing. And he began to pilfer. And he began to dip hands into the coffers of the apostle. That he loved the money. He was enjoying the money. I don't know what he was doing with the money. But right now, at this point in time, he couldn't continue. To him, I don't don't want the money again. And they say you must want it. They say, I thought he said you must hold it. Say, take your money. And then guilt filled his soul. And then that rope that tied him began to drag him until it dragged him to the place of suicide. And he killed himself and went to hell. God of sin. It begins imperceptibly. Just a little lie. Mommy, let me go to my classmate's house. Let me go to Amaka's place. But you are not going to Amaka's place. You have gone to meet one boy at the Yano school. And you went there. Something's happened. Listen. You went there and they taught you what you didn't know before. You went there and did what you have never done before. And now they introduced you into something. May I tell you something? There is something that God did not want Adam and Eve to know. Because he knows that when they come to know it, they will not be able to escape the consequences of knowing that. Did anybody hear me? Did anybody hear me? I said there is something that God did not want Adam and Eve to know. The knowledge of good and evil. He didn't want them to know it. Because if they know it, they will not be able to escape the consequences of knowing it. And you know that they didn't escape it. And we, their offspring, have not escaped it till today. And then, so, as a young girl and as a young boy, there is something that God will not want you to know now that you are not yet married. And He knows that if you know it, you will not be able to escape it. And then, you went there and came to know it. Listen, the cord begins to tie you. After a little while, your body will speak in tongues again. And you go. They will interpret the tongues for you. I'm speaking parable. And like play. They begin to teach you some things. Begin to teach you contraceptives. How to avoid unwanted pregnancy. And then you are thinking that you are a fast guy. You are a smart guy. As a young boy, you are begun to visit the houses where these ladies are. And then you go there and they begin to teach you some things. How to protect yourself so that you won't catch some things. And then you are thinking that you are a fast guy, no problem. Listen to me. One day, monkey go market and no go return. Those things you are trusting in to help you to prevent this or to prevent that will fail. And the pregnancy will occur. And then the person will now go into abortion. Possibly, it will succeed with some consequences. Damage to fallopian tubes. Possibly, a person will not succeed, but will die in the abortion clinic. The cord of sin have done what? That have tied the person, have not done what? Dragged him, dragged her, until finally we are in hellfire. The cord of sin. I don't know the one that has bound you already. This afternoon, you must break that cord.